I got good news. After several days of delays, the Veterans Reward brand new named shotgun, the Stack Broker, has arrived. And boy, was it worth the wait. We're gonna break it down, and yeah, I got a build for you. Lock and load, let's do this.
Accept it, Division! This is a war you can't win!
Piece of shit wristwatch.
Freak out, yo!
Banditos, what up? Your boy Tux here, back again with the Division 2, and yes, we're talking about the Stack Broker again, except this time the devs delivered. You should find this in your mailbox. Head to your stash, toggle over to the mailbox tab. You're gonna find it in two different areas. One, under special deliveries, you're gonna see your skins, and this is gonna be based off of how long you've been playing the game or when you first logged in. I have already covered this part. Refer to that or the patch notes if you're looking for exact details, but at the very least, you should probably be getting the bronze skin, and the bronze skin is actually my favorite of the three. Go to the grants tab in order to get the actual weapon, the Stack Broker. Just claim them to move them into your stash. Don't forget to favorite it, but I believe you can't deconstruct this. That was in the patch notes, but I'm not really going to test that. Your delivery should come in a pretty good state. My shotgun damage was maxed. It came with damage to targets out of cover, which is perfect, and it was maxed, and it was just a little bit shy on damage to armor. You're going to be able to re-roll this weapon talent to whatever you want, optimize what you can, and save the talent for you to be able to change it whenever you like. Do not lock in the talent by re-rolling the attribute, because I don't know when or if we're ever going to get another one of these. If you're wondering, yes, you should roll expertise into this thing. It's absolutely worth it, and that will actually make up for the lost damage. Let's take a closer look at the Stack Broker, and then we'll have a closer look at the skins that you were provided, and then I'm going to show you some kick-ass gameplay with the build that I have for you. What they did is made this shotgun faster. In exchange, they decreased some damage. And they're calling it the Stack Broker because we often use the ACS-12 shotgun to build stacks for those builds that really need them, like Striker and Heartbreaker. We would use this as a secondary weapon to build those stacks and then flop over to whatever else we're running. SMG, Assault Rifle. The pellets help build those stacks, and if you're running a crit build, it's also going to aid in stacking Obliterate really quickly for you too. For something like Heartbreaker and Striker, where you can have up to 200 stacks, and Heartbreaker has 100, but it deteriorates pretty quickly. Sometimes it feels like those builds, when you're running the Striker's chest piece and the Heartbreaker chest piece and backpack, aren't even viable unless you're running the Stack Broker. And that will depend on the content and how tanky the enemies are. Also, it can be a downside if you're killing the enemies really fast, you're not able to build stacks on them. That's why a weapon that has lots of pellets and a high RPM to build those stacks, even though the damage is lower, can be a really good useful tool, because you don't want to kill that target. You want to max your stacks on that target. And then from there, your return on investment is a fast time to kill. That's what the ACS-12 does, and that's the fantasy they've built into this weapon. They took away some damage and they gave us a high RPM. Now, I was worried at first because the Rock and Roll exists, which is the other named ACS-12, and you can get this from named item caches or playing Conflict. The Rock and Roll does a really good job, and what it does is give you a bigger mag on the ACS-12. No damage talent, bigger mag, and it's already fast, and the ACS-12 is a fully automatic shotgun. It was just the right tool for the job. A smaller mag and higher RPM, how are we gonna like that? Is it gonna be better than the Rock and Roll? On a side-by-side, you should know all of the stats are exactly the same. It is literally an RPM and damage difference. Same reload, everything. I'm gonna show base damage here, and you can see that the difference in damage between the Stack Broker and the Rock and Roll is 30,000, and the increase in RPM is 60. Pretty straightforward. Now that we've seen these weapons side by side, how do they actually pan out for damage? Which one is actually better at base for DPS? So we're talking about raw, sustained DPS comparisons. So no crits, no added damage applied. So if we look at the Rock and Roll, with its base damage, including its mag size, RPM, and reload time for a DPS of 641,135. The Stack Broker has 150,600 base damage, a mag size of 20 at 360 RPM, giving it a total DPS of 519,000. So the difference between the two, the Rock and Roll is 23.3% higher DPS, 121,227 DPS advantage. As a base weapon, the Rock and Roll wins due to higher base damage and larger mag outweighing Stockbroker's RPM edge. Reloads hurt less with more shots before downtime. But one of the things that makes the Stack Broker stand out, the stats are built in, and that frees up the talent for more damage. So what if we compare the Rock and Roll with its perfect talent, giving it more mag, and then putting on Killer for more crit damage on the Stack Broker? So without looking at any other build elements, what is the DPS comparison with crits? So the Rock and Roll has got 60% crit chance and 93% crit damage. The Stack Broker is going to have the same 60% chance and 163% crit damage when Killer is active. So looking at peak damage here, the Rock and Roll is going to have a DPS of 999,000. The Stack Broker will put out a DPS of 1,029,000. So the difference, the Stack Broker is 3% higher DPS, and it edges out due to faster cycles from higher RPM outweighing lower base per mag, despite Rock and Roll's damage advantage. Now let's take a closer look at the skins. Let's start with the bronze skin. Looks pretty darn cool. I love the aged bronze look on it, the green. I think that's really fantastic. The silver one I think is all right. They got some aged, worn in silver look here. It's cool. The gold one, which maintains the theme, that kind of regal look, pretty badass, and I like the jewels. This one has a lot more detail to it. Kudos to the design team for making this happen. Even though I have the gold, I'm gonna rock the bronze because that one's my favorite. For the Rock and Roll, I'm gonna rock this monster green one so you know when I have which shotgun in hand. They should stand out. Okay, this thing absolutely obliterates everything in front of you. It's a beast because the ACS-12 is one of the weaker shotguns in the lineup. It's not one we typically run as a primary weapon, but today we are. Now that's gonna come with some drawbacks. One is ammunition. We don't get a ton of ammo with shotguns, and this thing is blowing through ammo because of its lifted RPMs. That's something to consider. It actually wasn't a problem for me. There was enough ammo dropping, and I am running gunner. I do recommend you do that. This thing just destroys them. I have a series of builds coming. Today, I'm gonna give you two slight variations to the striker version of this build. If you're gonna be running the Stack Broker, I absolutely recommend running the striker chest piece. That's gonna be its differentiator. That's what it's gonna help you stack up. For a lot of content, we don't run the striker chest piece because 200 stacks is a lot to manage, but not for the Stack Broker. The elevated RPM and all of those damn pellets are really gonna do that for you easily. You don't even have to think about it. Now, because you're running the chest piece, I recommend running the backpack, the striker backpack, and then you have the 15% RPM to lift it even further. And then we got weapon handling to help with the reloads. Again, you want fast reloads. Have 60% crit chance and 93% crit damage. The chest piece is pushing us to 200 stacks, and you're gonna lose 3 stacks per second between 100 and 200. Nothing to worry about. The shotgun handles that. Then I have crit chance everywhere. On the mask, double crit chance, and the backpack is going to increase our stack damage from 0.65 to 0.90, 180% total amplified damage when we're at full stacks. With the chest piece, I have crit damage. The holster is more crit chance. This is the twist here. I'm running the overdogs. We get this 30% amplified damage to the lowest ranking enemy, whoever that is, whenever it happens. I'm running the turmoils. Hey, I have all of this crazy damage. Let's spread the love. So it's gonna split our damage across 2 targets. The second target, the one you're not shooting, is gonna be randomized. If you have 3 or 4 guys around you, it's just gonna rotate around those other dudes. Then I'm running the shield, I'm running the decoy. For the talent, I'm running killer on this one. Be sure to do that. I wasn't actually using my secondary weapon, but an SMG or an assault rifle will probably be a good idea back here in case you do run out of ammo, which you do get close to. Just at the halfway point, make sure you reload on ammo. If it doesn't happen, but there was enough ammo dropping. I did okay, thanks to Gunner. Here's the second variant I have for you, and I actually like this one better. I'm still running Killer, got Gunner, chest piece, backpack, still equipped. But it's the knees and the holster I swapped out. We're running Striker knees now, and I do have crit chance here. And I'm running the ammo dump, and I don't run this thing very often, but finally I got a use case for it. This is giving you 10% shotgun damage. It comes with an armor core. I'd like to roll one without an armor core, so I need to go to the crafting bench and spend some time. Put crit damage and crit chance on it, and it's going to give you 10% more ammo capacity. This will solve your ammo problems. Because of the turmoils, you're going to be doing a lot better on those 1v1 engagements. Your time to kill is going to go way up, actually. That's why I like this one. It's just a beast. I am playing really aggressive. I'm leaning into the damage. I don't have a ton of survivability in this build. I do have to play smart, but it is hella fun. If it's a little much, or if you struggle staying on your feet because we don't have a ton of survivability here, replace the overdogs for the striker glove and run something like the mementos. You're getting bonus armor and armor regen plus the 3 cores. And I wouldn't add any more armor. You totally could, but the 2 blue cores between the memento and the holster will be enough bonus armor to keep you standing. And then with the skill tier, that will give your shield a little more strength. And then you have the regen to help with that chip damage that's happening. That's a more comfortable way to play. But today I wanted to demonstrate the crazy damage that this thing does. I'm having a blast with it. Look forward to a few more builds over the next couple of days to have some fun with. Let me know what you think of the shotgun, and I'll see you at the rendezvous. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'm Tuxedo Bandito, and if you found this video helpful, be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on the good stuff I have coming for you. And if you like content like this, be sure to check out the video I have recommended for you right here. If you have anything you would like me to cover, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And thank you to all the channel members and donors who make things possible. Tux Nation wouldn't be the same without you.
When you buy a game from Ubisoft, enter the creator code Tuxedo Bandito to support the channel. Easy peasy.
Wait, did we just become best friends?